History repeats itself. History repeats itself, and just like last time in the group stages of their opener in 2018, France and Australia play out to a victory for the Europeans. This time, more emphatically so. 4-1 on the night. This time, however, Australia did tease us a little bit with amping up the Champions Curse meme, taking the lead from a well-timed run in the box and netted into the roof of the net by Craig Goodwin in the 9th minute. And for the next 18-19 minutes of this match, it looked as if France had been rattled. Australia did an efficient job, at least initially, of snuffing out everything that France threw at them. The Socceroos were able to hold on to this lead until just before the half-hour mark, when a lovely timed cross into the box met the head of Adrien Rabiot, who has made an international return after missing out playing for France in the last World Cup due to disputes with the staff and the whole drama of not wanting to be a reserve. He's had a great season so far, I think, for Juventus, and he turned up big for this team, for his side today. And from then on, for the most part, France never really looked back in this match. And I think with guys like Olivier Giroud still playing a role on this team, when France has a plethora of depth and other options to go from, it really speaks to the overall quality of this French side, that they still have these go-to guys that can get them goals, that can get them wins, and comfortably so. We know that entering this tournament, Karim Benzema not playing, announced not able to play for France on the eve of this tournament, was perceived as a massive blow. But so far, at least in this first game, France dealt with it with no issue. And other injuries they've had, like with Nkunku and Pogba, thus far, yet again, no issue. They will be tested more, I think, against a more resolute and disciplined Tunisian side, who will most likely seek to put numbers behind the ball, as well as a Danish team who can match them and who has put them away twice already this year. But France, as defending champions, are off to a flying start. Australia did show flashes here and there of coming back into the game. They did have a lovely opportunity, a strike by Jackson Irvine that struck the right-hand post. That was a chance to come back into the game and equalize at 2 apiece. But I think where Australia really struggled in this match was in the aerial battle. I mean, 2 or 3 goals in this game from France came from headers that the Australian fullbacks just could not deal with. And as aside from the AFC that normally has a height advantage over other Asian sides, that's an issue that really should not have been made manifest in this match, because Australia usually don't struggle in defending with set pieces. And in this match, Mbappe just posed so many problems with his pace and his agility, and Australia had no answers for it. And there was really no way in the end for Graham Arnold, the manager, to handle that. Main criticism that I think you can give to their manager, and this was something that Dominic Rich and I discussed in our World Cup Digest video that we recorded earlier tonight, which is that he made a few late substitutions. Our Mobile, I think, would have had a bigger impact on this game if he had started in the lineup for France, because his dynamism was something that I think Australia was sorely missing today. He was a player that really showed a lot of promise and came into his own, I think, in previous appearances for Australia, when he played at the last Asian Cup, for example. And I think that was a mistake. I think it was a big mistake to not start our Mobile. I think you had to field him. However, at the end of the day, as boring as this might sound, this simply came down to one thing and one thing only, the difference maker being quality. Australia are not a very star-studded squad. You look at who they have on their team. They are a national side who, for the better part of over a decade now, has really struggled to produce players who play at a very high level for some of the best clubs in the world, and coming up against a French team who do not have all their best players at them in this World Cup, but still can rely and rest on just the riches they have and the options they have off the bench, who could field a B team to this tournament and still make a case for doing reasonably well. It was just all too much to ask for the Socceroos, but they did have that moment in the first half where they can say that they held their own, at least at first. Eventually, though, it was just too much in the end because they were swamped. France registered almost 6 times the number of shots in this game, 23 to Australia's 4. And this match got out of hand, really, I think, after Giroud made it 3 on the night. Because other than Jackson Irvine's strike against the post, the only other real opportunity they had was that long distance strike from Duke Mitchell that just went above, a little bit too high above the crossbar. Um, France have not yet been tested. We have still yet to see whether or not this this group is for real. But I will say it does show France's strength and their pedigree. The fact that they did come back